Hey, how are y'all? Episode 6, y'all. In the recent, I have spent some time going down different rabbit holes. Lord, I don't know who told me to do that. Most of them having to do with single moms and the hatred people have for us. Or even the unfair advantages people try to compare us to. I am exhausted. So I had to take some time to remember who I am and what I am worth and what's important to me, which is, for me personally, the growth of my kids and myself. And as an individual who has purpose and has set out to conquer extremely hard goals, let me tell y'all, here are the top 3 right now, okay? 1, I want to show the beauty and the hard work it takes to wear this role we have taken on as single moms. 2, single moms need help, not more rejection and negative ass opinions. 3, accountability matters. And sweeping under the rug 50% of the problem and then putting 100% of wrong parenting on single moms is narcissistic and gaslighting at its finest. I ain't gonna hold y'all. And with that being said, welcome to episode 6. It's gonna get super real, and I definitely got something to say. Okay? You have been warned. Okay? You've been warned. Stereotypers, prepare yourselves, because today they got the right one. Single moms, I got us. So, first on the big list of getting these people together, because I'm here for it. There's this one man, his name is Aaron Mallory. I will never forget this name. He talked about how single moms are the worst parents and gave all these weird ass stats. Aaron Mallory, how can you call us the worst when the worst would be your daddy and men like your dad who don't even try? That's what the worst would be, just so we're on the same page. Like, truly help me make it make sense. Before y'all try and tell me that I'm giving an emotional answer to try and shut me down, really think about it. There is a parent who does not fucking work at all. Then there is your mama trying to work, cook, trying to make sure you don't end up dead, and figure out how she's gonna pay the bills, put clothes on your back. You, my friend, are an ungrateful, hateful man that really needs to figure out why you hate black women so bad. Mr. Aaron Mallory, that's what you need to do. Go sit down somewhere. That's what I want you to do. Go sit in a corner, because clearly your mama didn't tell you to go in the corner. Go sit in the corner and think about what you said and figure out what's really going on. Truly, men like you make me sick and disgusted, because you have the audacity to really hold your head up high and tell this one-sided narrative. But what made me laugh is the fact that you thought telling these same ass men who want nothing to do with their kids, hence the absent parent part, was gonna be like, oh yeah, let me just go ahead and pick these kids up that I haven't gave a fuck about in the last 0 to 18 years. Let me just go pick them right on up right now. Boy, bye. Okay? The biggest issue is men like your father are not held accountable for their neglect, which causes a lack in so many areas in children's lives. Okay? That's what we need to actually look at. I don't hear you saying anything about your missing daddy. Like, just crickets. Just crickets. If your father were around, maybe he could have taught you how to respect your mama, because you really online embarrassing the hell out of her and women like me. But I digress. I'm not even sure if he could do that because he's missing in action. But again, I digress. And yes, single moms and stereotypers, I got time today, because what we're not going to keep doing is this one-sided bullshit. Single moms, today, we will talk about remembering our worth and how to get it back when the world says we are the problem, we are the worst, we this, we that. And this goes out to all the single moms that are bitter too, and that are filled with rage and spite. Do you know that your kids is out here suffering and speaking up? Not sure if they going back home to tell you, but they online wilding out, throwing hella fits, throwing tantrums. We need to help them heal. And the best way to help them heal is to heal you first. So let's get into remember, okay? Remember this, single moms, in whichever group you may be in. I am who I say I am, okay? That's one. I am woman. I am mother. I am enough. I am fearless. I am confident. I am strong. I am a force to be reckoned with. I am a great mother. I am doing the best I can. I am worthy. And let's not forget this, okay? Stereotypers, I know I'm giving real angry black woman vibes. But honestly, this is passion. This is being tired of lame ass half storytelling. And today, I challenge you to hear me out. Okay? Because I would hear you out. I swear I would hear you out. So just hear me out today. Hear me out. Okay? One of the theories that are out there is that single fathers are better parents. What I want you to know, first and foremost, is that I love that dads that are stepping up to the plate. Those dads hold 30% of the men that are taking charge. 30%. Okay? 30% of all single parents is men. And they're taking charge, and I love that for them. I don't want anybody to ever think anything other than that. So I'm going to say it again. I love that these men are stepping up to the plate. I will never bash. I will never talk down on them. Okay? But now here's the deeper part that I want you to look into. And in the recent, I've decided there's a couple of studies that I really want to get into. So right now, this is more so of a working theory, but I really need you to hear me though, right? So the deeper part that I really want you to look into. So for these single fathers who are primarily raising their kids on their own, how many have remarried? That's one. Or have women in their lives helping them raise the kids, like their moms, or the actual mom of the children might be forced to be in the picture in a different way. You know what I'm saying? Like in a co-parenting situation. That is also something that could have possibly happened. And again, I'm not saying what single dads are doing is not cool, but at the same time, single moms, we don't get those same luxuries. And I need y'all to hear me. Like, I really feel like this is a piece that y'all are missing. Because no one told you, and I'm telling you verbatim quotes, like things that have really happened, and you tell me if you haven't heard these. No one told you to sleep with that boy or have that baby. Or here's one that I love so much. You should have kept your legs closed. Now deal with it. Which means I'm going to punish you by not helping your ass at all. And I'm going to watch you struggle, and you got to figure it out. What a shame. Honestly, what a shame. You could have been such a great blah, 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 but you was just too damn fast. Even with that being said, I know there are real dads out there, you know what I'm saying, who do it by themselves. Again, like wholeheartedly all by themselves. And I'm just showing y'all different perspectives on this one-sided narrative that people keep going with. You know, I know there's dads that are doing it by themselves, whether it's because you're widowed or the mother is unfit, because that is a thing as well. I'm not going to hold y'all. That's not something that could be, because that's 100% something that could be. Now, I just want y'all to see that they're two different categories, and they're not equal in no kind of regards. Like, it's a very unfair, like, situation. And I really need y'all to see that. Now, single moms, if I have triggered you, my bad. But guess what? You are still great. And we just have to focus on adjusting and remembering what I said in the beginning, okay? You are worthy. The other video that took me like up through there came from this lady, and I can't even remember. I was so annoyed. She called herself a comedian, and sometimes these comedians like really be doing too much, to be honest. To be honest with you, like, I ain't gonna hold y'all, like, they really be doing too much sometimes. And she came through and she wanted to talk about single moms in a subgroup of single moms as an entirety. She was speaking about a certain area of single moms. And that's the single moms that are bitter, that haven't learned forgiveness, that carry themselves a certain way. You know what I'm saying? Like, that single mom. They still have a lot of anger in their hearts towards the man that they laid with. And her words stood out to me the most because, like, she said, I quote, "You should have just played the role and stayed quiet." Who are you talking to? Who are you talking to? Lord knows I haven't forgiven her yet. Lord knows, like, I am still angry with this woman because she also called these women out of their names, like they did something to her. So that told me a lot about her character and what she will, like, just accept. But I feel like I have to protect all single moms, no matter what level they're on, whether I'm past them in certain areas or not. I'm going to protect all of us because ain't nobody else doing it. And I'm going to start a trend protecting single moms. I don't care. And can't nobody tell me nothing else. So y'all know me. When I heard this, I had something to say. I really had something to say. And the first thing I have to say is what you're not going to do, ma'am, is call this subgroup of single moms out their names. Forgiveness is a hard process. Letting go is even harder of something that what you thought was real or what you wanted it to be and it didn't come out to be. That is hard. You don't get to tell them how to do what they need to do when they need to do it, because you're not in their shoes. You don't know what the situation is. You really are probably one of those women who just listen to whatever that man said and not know the other side of the story. That's really who I think you are. But again, whatever. I want y'all to know that pettiness is a two-way street. It's not one-sided. You know what I'm saying? Letting go and forgiveness comes like, it has to come on both sides. And there's things that I want y'all to know. Men are petty too. Men are petty too. And the way that men are petty when it comes to their BMs, because, you know, there's a certain kind of man that I'm talking about. This is not every man. Even though all these different groups online and stuff would like to categorize all single moms in one category, I will never do that, because there's some amazing men in this world. But for these certain men that I'm talking about, they like to withhold money, flaunting the replacement in her face, whether it's the new woman, having the woman hold her child, not really knowing who she is. You know what I'm saying? That kind of deal. Not helping on the weekends because he feels like he has to control how she moves, when she moves, what she can and can't do. Or my favorite for this type of man in particular, still sleeping with your baby mama and having a new girl and then lying about it and having both women upset. That's where I feel like this girl came into play, but I digress. Again, I digress. That woman really pissed me off, y'all. I ain't gonna hold y'all. Like, she really pissed me off. But man, I'm telling y'all, I got time today. Shorty, you don't know the full story, nor does it seem like you are interested in hearing or helping this group of women out. So stay in your own goddamn lane. That's on period. Stay in your lane. Don't come over here. You ain't offering no help. So stay in your own lane. As for you, single moms in this group, your behavior is a hindrance to what the growth of your kids can be. Okay? The relationship they need to have with their fathers, you're stopping that. And it's not okay. It's really not. And I understand, because I've been there. I truly hear you. I see the pain in your eyes. I get where you're coming from. But you can't move like this. It's not helping at all. Letting go and forgiveness is for you, baby girl. It's literally for you. And maybe no one has told you this, but allowing yourself to forgive helps with your worth of self. The bitterness and the anger are blocking you from your new blessings and the growth of your character. So we really got to move forward and get away from anger and bitterness. Okay? Like, for real. The relationship you have with your child's father needs to move from a fixed mindset into a growth mindset so that your child or children can prosper tremendously. This level of forgiveness will alleviate stress and anxiety. So not only will you be a better mother, but you'll be a better person internally for just changing these couple of things and rectifying this relationship that you have with this man you once laid with. You did lay with him, so you can get out of that fixed mindset. And he's not your property, nor are you his. And that's something I could say for both parts in this category. Y'all are not each other's property. Now back to the stereotypers. This is the way You can address two problems we have in our own society versus this narrative that single moms are bitter, worthless humans, that we are what's wrong with the world. It's clear to me that things need to change. Like, they 100% need to change. But to figure this out, we need to know where we are and how to regain our self-worth and bring value back to our children. And community, are we ready for this journey? Are we, as a community, like as a whole, are we really ready for this journey? Because seriously, all we have to do is really be ready to look at all these problems, right? And truly focus on creating solutions. If you're here to really find solutions with me and make a change, let's get to it. If not, deuces, and mind your business. Today's topic is all about self-worth and the importance of recognizing our own value. Before we get into it, I would love to let y'all hear from a former single mom in my favorite segment, Meeks Meets the Streets. Hey guys, how are you? It's your girl Meeks, and I'm back in the streets. So I'm here with an amazing single mom that I met at the salon today, and she was just kicking some game. Like, she was just telling me some stuff. And you know, this week's podcast, we're talking all about worth, and I just knew that y'all needed to be touched by her story. So first, hello, single mom. Well, not single mom anymore, but former single mom. Tell us a little bit about who you are, what your name is, and backstory.
Yes, absolutely. Hi, everyone. My name is Soroya. I'm originally from Canada. My story is I grew up in foster care, right? So I did have my parents in my life, but in the earlier stages, I didn't. And when I was a teenager at the age of 13, I then found myself in foster care again. So I came from a life of feeling like, where am I going? What am I going to do with myself? What's my purpose? My parents weren't able to show me my purpose or show me my worth. And when you don't know your worth, a lot of times you'll allow people to try to show you who you are. So there was a lot of self and soul searching that I had to do to, bring myself out of that mindset of, it's just the world. That's just how things go. And once I started to read and really put myself into another mindset, everything took off from there.
Okay, so you said you did two things. And I want you guys to understand what she said. So you said you started reading and a different mindset. So you went from fixed mindset to growth mindset. But what did you start reading? What was your journey in finding worth looking like for you?
Yeah, so at that point, I hit rock bottom. I actually had a roommate, and my lights had been cut off for the first time in my life. And at that point, I was so down that I felt like there was only up I can go from there. And I had a roommate, and I was put onto the law of attraction. And I think one of the first books I read was Napoleon Hill, Think and Grow Rich. And from there, I read James Allen, As a Man Thinketh.
Oh my God.
That is probably the book I've read the most to this day.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Let me tell you guys, As a Man Thinketh is such a phenomenal book, and you should 100% get that book. And Think and Grow Rich, there's so many gems in that book. and you can see what the bottom looked like for all of these people who you respect and love. Oh my, these are, she's telling y'all some real stuff right now. These are two phenomenal books that you should read to grow your mindset.
Yeah, so I would say for me, that's what really changed it for me. I started reading. I went into isolation like I really did for a whole year. All I did was go to work and come home. I was reading, and then I had affirmations all over the house. So if I had an affirmation on the fridge, before I opened that fridge, I had to read that affirmation 5 times. I had it in my mirror when I would brush my teeth. If I laid in bed, I had it on the ceiling. If I left my door, it was on my door on the way out. It was in my car. I was surrounded by it. So really what I was doing was, like, there's a Bible verse that says, be ye transformed by the renewing of your mind. And really what I was doing was I was reconditioning my mind, because I read a book called E Square, and it actually gives you like examples and things to do. And so I started to test this theory. When you hit rock bottom, you ain't got no choice. You know what I'm saying? And so I started to test these theories, and little by little, they started to yield results I had never seen. No one ever showed me. No one ever told me. And so once I did that, I started to like visualize checks in the mail. Like I'm talking $5, $10. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And these checks would really come in the mail like $5, $10, $20. And I was like, oh my gosh, this really works. And from there, the rest is history. But that was really my foundation. So I do believe in solitude. I do believe there's a lot of noise. And sometimes if we can kind of just separate ourselves just for a moment, not your whole life, but just take time for you to rebuild that mindset, to really fortify it, change can definitely come.
Oh my God. Guys, we talked about this last week. Just sitting in silence, like taking nature walks, having that time by yourself is so important to rediscover yourself or discover yourself for the first time, because some of these women have never discovered themselves from jump. So this is like learning how to discover yourself as well. But these are some amazing tools that she's given you. Now, I would love for you to tell them a little bit about like single mom life for you, and where you are now, because her story with her husband is awesome. It's really awesome.
Single life was not easy. So I had my daughter when I was 18, turning 19. So literally about 2 weeks before my 19th birthday. I was pregnant and I didn't know. So being a single parent was hard. Financially, the responsibility is on you. But I also say that with every lesson in life, there's also a blessing. And so it wasn't bad for me having her young. It was actually my breakthrough, because having her, I wanted to be the best mom possible. So now it's like, I want to go back to school. And I did. I went back to school. I got my associate's degree, because now you're like, there's a life that you're responsible for. So what lessons and what tools are you going to instill in them if you don't even have them yourself? So she really helped put me on the right path and want to do better for her, because I knew that she was going to be a sponge, and everything she saw, she would soak up. And so I didn't have the best relationship with my mother, so I wanted to, everything I didn't have, I wanted to give my child. And I did that, and we have a great relationship to this day.
That is so beautiful. That is so beautiful. So, one of the things that I know with single moms, like, sometimes we can be more like, will we ever find love? Am I worthy of love? What was that like for you, figuring out your worth when it came to love?
I would definitely say soul search. Know who you are, because if you don't know who you are or what you want, how could you get into a relationship? How could you say this is the man that's for me when you don't even know yourself what that looks like? And so for me, I do believe there's power in writing things down. I stand firm on that, because once you write things down, you're now physically looking at what you wrote down. So it's kind of like a hand and mind coordination, right? And so once you write those things down, I also say live by that. Make sure that's what you really want in a mate. Don't just put things on paper because you think that's what your friend want or that's what you see TV. Write that on a piece of paper, and don't veer from that. So if you meet someone and they don't align to that, keep it moving.
I know y'all heard that. So we're gonna say thank you first and foremost. She's such a beautiful soul, and me love me Jamaica woman there when them come true. You know me, I said. But I'm just grateful that I got to meet you. I'm grateful that you would take this time out of your schedule after, because her hair is laid. It's time for her to go. She about to go on her honeymoon, guys. But I appreciate you for taking this couple moments with me. And I hope that we can have her back on for a full podcast. And we're going to make sure her hair lays so y'all can see what that be looking like, because she really a baddie out here. All right. So once again, thank you so much for taking a couple minutes to speak with me. Any last words or a quote for the ladies?
Quote, I would definitely say, know your worth, and speak that worth and value to yourself every day in the mirror. As you are getting ready, look at yourself and tell yourself, set your day, set the intentions of how you want your day to go, but always look at yourself in the mirror and have love for yourself first and foremost.
Thank you so much. It is Meeks in the streets. I will talk to you guys later. Bye. Y'all, tell me she wasn't dope. Like, Soraya was amazing. Like, I was so I met her in a salon at my homegirl salon, and her energy was just so pure and beautiful. And we got to chopping it up, and I was just like, can I just do a quick little interview, little 1 2 1 2 with the 1 2 1 2? And she was so down for it. And I was like, this segment is really dear to me. Worth is really important, and I can tell that you know your worth. Like, when someone knows their worth. So let's just do a quick recap on what we learned from the interview with her. And I'm telling y'all, I'm trying to get her back for a full segment. And she said she's down for it, because I really want y'all to hear from the things that y'all didn't get to hear in that one little short segment, because we got to sit in the salon that day for hours together. I got to hear a lot about her. So I'm hoping that I can get her back. But anywho, here's just a recap. What I got from it, my main takeaways was reading books, single moms, soul searching single moms, solitude, single moms, manifesting single moms, and focusing on what's important to you. And if it does not align with what you want to do, move forward, period. Okay? Self-worth is a crucial aspect of mental and emotional well-being. Yet, it's something that so many people struggle with. So let's dive in and explore this topic further. First, let's define self-worth. Self-worth is the value that we place on ourselves as individuals. It's how we perceive our own abilities, qualities, and achievements. It's the internal sense of our own value and level of importance we give ourselves. So why is self-worth so important? Why is it so important? Well, having a healthy sense of self-worth helps us to feel good about ourselves, which leads to greater confidence, self-esteem, and resilience. It also enables us to set boundaries, make healthy choices, and pursue our goals and dreams. Do you see where I'm going with this? And this is for all of us. Imagine if we just had some worth in self. And on the other hand, low self-worth can lead to negative self-talk, self-doubt, and feelings of inadequacy. It can also lead to self-sabotaging behaviors, like staying in toxic relationships or settling for less than what we deserve. Now, I don't know if you paying attention to what I'm saying, but the groups that they be talking about, can y'all see what they're lacking now? If not, let me help you. It's worth, value of self. So if we can just help them with this, we can move forward. But let's continue. And this is where like a lot of the problems that we face lie right here in lack of self-worth. So how can we improve ourselves? Firstly, it's important to recognize and challenge negative self-talk. That's one. We must be aware of negative messages we tell ourselves and actively replace them with positive ones. We can also practice self-compassion and self-care, treating ourselves with kindness and prioritizing our own needs. Another important way to improve self-worth is to set and achieve goals. By setting achievable goals and working towards them, we can build confidence and self-esteem. We can also practice self-reflection. Look at these nuggets, son. Come on, y'all. I don't know if y'all hear me yet. I don't know. Acknowledge our accomplishments, right? No matter how small they are. Man, I got the kids up on time today. Boom. I didn't argue with my BD today. I didn't argue with my baby mama today. You know what I'm saying? Those are small wins, but they really are amazing. We got through one whole conversation. And finally, right? For me, it's important to surround ourselves with positive influences. One of the biggest things that I'm doing and I have been doing in my journey as a single mom is I have put myself around extremely wealthy people, extremely intelligent people, people that love me, people that carry themselves differently from regular old folk. That's what I did. I surrounded myself with different groups of people in different categories. And I suggest you do the same thing because what you're doing is not working right now. You got to seek out people who uplift you and support you, right? I have some great women in my life that support me and uplift me, and they are my go-to. Like, when things are up, when things are down, they are the people that I immediately speak with. Those are my aunts and one of my homegirls, Rose. Like, as soon as something is either going right or wrong, I know I can get with them and either pick myself back up off the floor, or they will congratulate me and hold me in high regards. Like, you need those kinds of people around you. And then the other side of that is you need to distance yourselves from people who bring you down. I'm going to do a whole different segment on people who bring you down and why you need to remove yourself from that situation or don't even pay it no attention at all. In conclusion, self-worth is a crucial aspect of mental and emotional well-being. It is important to recognize our own values and take steps to improve our sense of self-worth. By challenging, again, that negative self-talk, practicing compassion and self-care, setting achievable goals, and surrounding yourselves with positive influences, we can really build a healthy and positive sense of self-worth. With that being said, stereotypers, challenge the people who disrespect single moms and see what the root of their negative talk and lack of compassion when it comes to single moms is all about. Single moms, work inward and focus on letting go of the past so that your kids can have a better future and they can stop going on the internet bashing and destroying themselves. Now, to the non-participating fathers, I don't know where I came up with this name, but that's what we're calling them now, okay? That's a subgroup. Non-participating fathers. Can we talk for a second? Can we really talk for a second? From the day you slept with that woman, you knew there was a possibility she could get pregnant. We learned that in like 5th grade, right? Okay. And I ain't here to attack you, non-participating father. I'm not here to attack you. But let's just get into it. 1, she's struggling. 2, your kids is struggling. 3, the world is struggling. And most importantly, you're struggling. That void that you feel of not being complete or that lack of respect you have for yourself, if you could look inward and let go of the pain, the anger, or set aside the difference that you have with that woman that you slept with and lead, because that is the role as man, lead. You can fill that void that you have with loving yourself and your kids. And son, real talk, you just gonna allow all these people to get online and just bash your baby mama. Just bash her and not have nothing to say? Son, come on. We got to do better. We have to. Non-participating fathers, I need you to stand up and do what's right, like for real. And I know that could one, be super hard because some women are very hard to deal with, but you made it this far with where you had slept with her, where you have seen things in the streets that you've walked away from. You know what I'm saying? There's been things in your life that have caused like stress and you were able to remove it or move around it and still exist. So what I'm asking you is to figure out how to make this situation work. Because you can do it. It's up to you to do it. And again, like I told you, I ain't bashing you. I ain't doing none of that. But at the same time, I'm not going to make it seem like you doing amazing. Because that's not what's happening right now. We need you. We do. Non-participating fathers, we need you. It is what it is. These kids is getting out of control. They need their daddy. They looking for you. You know what I'm saying? Step up, son. And everybody starts somewhere. So again, like, even if you starting today, like, I ain't mad at you. It's the fact that you're trying that's beautiful. Now, lastly, and certainly not least, to you single mom hating people out there, men and women alike. Fuck. What I meant to say is you should try interacting with single moms on a larger scale so you can see what it truly takes to even walk in our shoes. Secondly, go talk to your mama and tell her how you're feeling. Third, we are human, okay? Just like you. Fourth, just because you flushed your joy down the toilet, yep, I'm talking to you, sis, don't shit on ours, okay? All that hating y'all doing is pointing right back at you. And I'm not the one or the two, because I'm going to call you out every goddamn time. I ain't going to hold you. Now back to our regular scheduled program, okay? I love y'all no matter what and no matter where you're at on your self-worth journey. Remember, you are worthy. Remember, you are valuable. You are important. You are deserving of love and respect. And with that being said, watch your mouth when it comes to single moms, because you know Meeks is going to have something to say. Episode 6, y'all. Stay tuned, comment, share. Let me know what you think. I can't wait. Positive feedback, bad feedback. It's all beautiful for me. And I'm going to have something to say regardless. So it is what it is. But I respect and just love y'all. Thank you so much again for tuning in. Let me know some topics y'all want to hear. And we out.